Hello and welcome to Nick V Uncensored. Today we've got Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and today we're going to be talking about escaping the Matrix and all the information that Dr. Darrell Wolfe has put in his documentary coming up. Dr. Darrell Wolfe, thank you so much for joining me. How are you, and what have you been up to?
Well, first of all, I'm doing great, and it looks like you're doing great. And what have I been up to? Okay, well, we all have to reach down inside and understand that there's a lot more in us. I've been scheduling out tours. Like I've got a tour coming up in England. I've got another one in Scotland where we're doing some trainings. We can go through that. But I just finished a 2-year project called Escape the Matrix. And Escape the Matrix is compiled. It's 3 hours. When we're all done, it will probably be about, 45 minutes, and it'll be about 5 to 6 different acts. And the reality is we call them acts because everybody's a bloody actor. And the people that are running the world are the poorest actors and the most toxic, to tell you the truth. So I've been researching this since I was young, but 2 years ago, I decided I was going to put this together and make it that a 12-year-old child would watch this and go, oh my God, I got this. So the reality is we wanted to be able to come across and have the masses understand something that planet Earth is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, but only if you understand the rules and nobody's coming to save you, and that you have everything inside you to actually be the hero of this story.
I like that. When you say inside you, do you mean your source awareness?
Well, let's put it this way. To be aware is actually having the facts. And the reality is just know this, that, and I mean this in the most respectful way. So please, anybody that's new to me, 99% of the population are living fairy tales, from Santa to how everything was created. And,
I agree.
And the rules on how to live. It's all to serve the minority psycho elite, which are all as evil as shit. And excuse my expression, but there's no other word for these people. And the reality is this is always going to be allowed until we have unconditional love and care for ourselves. And there is no color, there is no race, there is no religion that you would judge. Do you understand? When we start minding our own business, okay, and understand that we are a piece of the almighty source creator, and we need to start creating and then mind our own business, like everything from politics to religion to race wars to just absolutely everything is meant to be a distraction. And as long as we're distracted, we'll be disrupted. And as long as we're disrupted, we'll never be in the present moment. And as long as you're not in the present moment, they will always own you. And that's it.
I agree. Wow. Yeah, I could go a different direction with this as well, because I always say the past and the future doesn't exist. It only exists in our minds as an illusion, and the only thing that's real is now.
And now is one 1/10,000th of a second. Wrap your head around that, because that now is gone. Before I even said the whole word now. And the reality is nobody's going to be in the present moment until they understand something, that you were created by the source creator, and the source creator has never judged you. That's just a malarkey. And the reality is all the judgment calls that have belittled you and made you feel like you have no value are man-made. They're not God-driven.
Yeah, of course. I actually think that God, I think we've been lied to about what God actually is, right? And I think that God is basically the origin of our source awareness. And there is only anything that has separation, meaning you and I, doesn't exist, because when you collapse all separation, the only thing that exists within us, which is one, is awareness. And one being, one awareness is having an an illusion, to experience duality so that it can remember itself through awakening. What do you think about that?
I think as long as you're at war with yourself due to all of the rules and contracts that we don't even know that we signed with these with this evilness, and as long as you feel that you have the right to go to war with another brother and sister, that you're just part of the harvest.
Of course, no, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Very. So, tell me about the this escape the matrix. What have you included in that, and when is it coming out?
Well, on February the 14th, which is coming really close, it's only a few days away, we're just going to give a sneak preview of it. But what I want you to understand is I took people over this little journey and showed them with a broad brush. I didn't take them way down the rabbit hole because that would be unable to process. It's just like buying a pair of running shoes doesn't make you a marathon runner. Okay. And so we tried to be gentle, but go deep enough that they and give them come from many different types of angles to prove that we're talking about logic. Okay, that's all this is just logic, and anyone with a logical common sense is going to see that this is real if they want to put these pieces together. Now, if I can tell you something, this will be released like a Netflix kind of thing. There'll be an act coming out every week. Okay, and because we don't want to overburden someone's brain, but the reality is too is just 5 days ago, I want to tell you something really crazy. I'm on my phone, busy, okay, and this video pops up, and I delete it, and it pops up again, and there's no name on it where it came from. It was the weirdest thing. You can't make this stuff up. And then I open it up, and guess what? The guy's name is Tom Althouse. He actually wrote The Matrix, and it was stolen by Hollywood, and it was actually stolen by the elites. And then what they did is they rewrote The Matrix, and they gave everybody the answer that they wanted to have everybody have, and took away the questioning to make everybody think, to dig a little deeper to find your true authentic self. So he's actually coming, and we're doing a 12-part series called The 12 Deceptions on the main things that they switched in the Matrix to throw everybody off. Remember something. There's a certain entity on this planet that has been controlling the masses, and because there's no need for poverty, there's no need for starvation. 100 billion people could live on this planet, and there'd be enough room for everyone. Everybody's delusional, and and there's no climate change, and we could keep going. A virus isn't alive. I mean, we could just sit here all day. And what I want to do is challenge all your viewers to find me one research that they've ever isolated a virus or ever found one virus on this planet since the beginning of time, and it's going to come up zero. So it's amazing how you can tell a story that will actually enslave people to actually inject something into them that will ruin their life. And actually, that thing that they injected will connect to the grid of all things, and it can be triggered through the LED lighting right in their house. I mean, this is such an evil, masterful plan, and it's amazing, but only a very small amount of people. You know what I think, my friend? If we're that smart, why are we that stupid?
Exactly. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, tell us, what do you think of the Epstein list and the Epstein? I say Epstein.
Well, I'm telling you that my belief, I've only mentioned it once, and it was only 4 days ago. I will never mention it again. Because guess what? It's meant to be the greatest soap opera in the world. And everybody from Trump and everybody else, they've got dirty hands. And guess what? They just released what was it? 3 million papers on it.
I think
So
6
that's
million, but I could be wrong.
Well, whatever, 3 million, 6 million, it could be 60. Nobody's going to go through it. And anybody who goes through it will be so small. And so they drowned us in paperwork that didn't even exist. So the reality is this. Now everybody got what they wanted. And now who's going to read it? And they put in so much BS all the way through it. And I'm not having nothing to do with it. Because guess what? The pedophilia, okay, the slave trade, they're all in on it. Every president, every person that's high up has all been in on it. And guess what? And the reality is, you got to understand something. Since the beginning of time, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they know how to do blackmail properly. They know how to buy people. And, everybody gets blackmailed and everybody's liar, liar, pants on fire. I am not going to participate in the Epstein file because then I won't get my projects done and we won't be able to shine our light onto the world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So where do you see the next 5 years for the world going? What do you think? What do you think's happening?
Well, it's not the end of times, it's the end of a time.
It's the
And the
end of an era.
reality is it's the end of a time. And things are never going back to the way they were. And I don't know if you really want me to say what I feel, because when I say this, I say it without fear. I say it without trying to shock people. And I don't know if people, I say to people, don't ask me a question unless you really want the answer. And most people have done no research. Okay. They might be on an enlightened podcast like yours the odd time, but most of them are just getting the news, and the news is all complete lie, complete made up fallacy. But you can't tell them that, because guess what? The subconscious runs our life. That's 90% of your brain. It only runs programs. So it doesn't matter if the program's killing you or healing you, whatever the dominant programs are, that's what you're running, because people don't know how to be in the present moment and own it. Where are we going to be? I can tell you this much. I don't think I'll be here, but by 2050, if you're living in a city, you're chipped, you're robotic, you could be a cyborg. And the reality is you're not even alive anymore because of all the graphene that you're taking in through, you do know that Bill Gates has still 2.5 years with Pepsi and Coke, and he's allowed to put his graphene in all of their products. So if you've been drinking any of those, even the water, you're getting it. And the reality is I've got graphene in me, but I know how to get rid of it. And the reality is this: the graphene is these are little micro robots, everyone, and they can actually multiply, and they're signaled by the LED lighting. That's why when they told you get LED lights in your house, get LED lights on the street, get LED lights everywhere. Those LED lights have a signal that will actually activate the graphene inside of you. And whether people want to believe it or not, they will be able to just pulse it or hit you hard. This next pandemic will be caused because of that. All the LED is everywhere. It's nicely situated. People have enough graphene from eating processed food and graphene from the chemtrails. So they've got loaded up enough. And so now all we got to do is turn those suckers on. Okay. So where are we going to be? Well, I believe that right now, I live in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, very small area. And the reality is where you have to go where the government doesn't have to get in a car to come and see you. Okay. If the government can turn something on, okay, they are going to do it. If you live in a large city, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you're fried. You're going to be fried, and you're going to be doing all the things you can nutritionally, energy medicine. You'll be meditating. You'll be trying to connect to yourself. But understand something: cities have been denatured, and they've been set up to be harvest stations. And I know that people don't like this, but this is your show. You want the truth, what I feel.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
guess what? We don't need long to wait for this. Everything that I said, everybody, if you've got eyes to see, you're going to see that in 2 years that I wasn't making this up.
Mm. Yeah, of course. Of course. What do you think is going to happen with banking?
Well, I know what's going to happen with banking. Banking will live on and live strong. It's all going to be digital. I mean, XRP is going to be the new railway. And the bankers, the reason why what's going on right now is the bankers are raping every country. Okay. And they're doing it for the bloodlines. And this is over. Cash is gone. Cash is gone. Gold, silver, digital, it's coming. You can try to battle it, or they want you to battle it. They want you to get upset. They don't want you to figure it out and then strategize so that you could be financially comfortable or even wealthy over this thing. They want us all to just be fighting. That's why the Epstein files came out right now. Okay. So understand, there's nobody in government, and the higher you go, the more dangerous they are. I don't care what the act they're playing. But so what's going to happen here is that we are going digital. They're going to have problem in some countries, like in Mexico. 40% of the population doesn't have a phone. Okay, thank you. So they're going to have to take the chip. 60% of the population doesn't even bank. Thank you very much. So that's why I live in a country like this. If you live in an organized country where everybody's banking and everybody has a phone, they're going to come on so hard and so strong because we made it easy for them. And the reality is guess what? You don't matter, my friend. I don't matter. I mean, where people actually think that they matter to their government or to the medical system, oh my God, please. You know what? We have become so blinded. Okay. Like people actually think the medical system is healthcare. There's no health, there's no care. All they do is use poisons. And every time you go there, the only thing they do is they numb you out. And then guess what? The infection, the inflammation keeps raging until you become a piece of beef jerky or you grow a fibroid or a tumor. And then they got to cut that out. I mean, there is a God, there is a creator. And guess what? If we couldn't come together and just wake up, guess what? I don't see why they don't see it, but I already told you that the brain is 90% subconscious, and you can feed anything to it. It's just a computer that runs programs. So if you're not awake enough to know that you've got to change your belief systems, okay, and that you have been created by God Almighty, so act like it. And there is no authority over you. Like when people come to me and they come for a perfect day consult because they're in such big trouble from going the wrong direction, I tell them, you need to challenge me. I am not your authority. You need to challenge me on everything. And I tape everything so that they have the tape. So they hold me accountable. And that's the thing. We've got to hold everybody accountable. Okay.
Yeah.
And people can be bought and sold. And you know that. How much money would it take to buy and sell you? You couldn't pay me enough. You couldn't buy me. Do you know why? Because I am a spirit being and I am eternal. And I know that life is about levels. And you know what? You gotta feed your spirit and you've got to bring up your vibration if you don't want to keep reliving the same problem. I mean, if you're going to keep eating the same, you're gonna keep the sickness. If you're going to keep making the same choices, you're going to keep suffering the same. So I'm not going to make choices that are low vibrational in any way, any shape, any form for the rest of my life. Okay. And it's not because I fear God, because God is not something to be feared. It is a high vibration that has created the universe, for God's sakes. You think it's really sitting back and judging us? No, it's like this. You are a piece of me. You are a creator. You need to go from victim to hero. You need to go from patient to practitioner, which means you need to be the master of this.
Yeah, of your mind, exactly. So you mentioned, I want to go back a little bit. You mentioned about XRP, taking over. Are you invested? Do you know anything about it? Do you know how much it will?
I'm going to tell you, I am nobody's financial advisor, but I'm going to tell you, I believe that Bitcoin will eventually go to zero. And Bitcoin does not follow any rules, any guidelines. You know that. You've already heard it. And Bitcoin is used to transfer government money and drug money and pedophilia. I mean, I already know that. I wouldn't buy it even if I was going to make money on it. Okay. And how long it's going to last, I don't know. And I don't really care. And the reality is they're suppressing XRP because guess what? All us dumb folks, when we keep seeing it go up a little bit and it drop and it never goes anywhere, guess what? That's what you do to the winning horse. You make everybody think it's broken. People need to wake up. Gold, silver, XRP, there's lots of things I know about. You know, you want to do your own private banking, you look at Ondo, you look at Aave. Digital's coming, whether I like it or not. You know, I drank the Kool-Aid 5 years ago. I'll fight digital, cash forever. Yeah, really. Well, you're going to be standing on the corner with your money that's not going to be worth anything. And because you didn't strategize and you didn't wake up, okay? I would tell people to watch Black Swan Capitalist. And there's also on YouTube called The Asian Guy. And I know he's AI, but he's not lying. So there's 2 tips right there. And the reality is this, start there, everyone. And guess what? If you don't mind your business, they're going to steal it. And that's it. And remember something, you don't matter. You do not matter. I do not matter. And you know what? People are so scared to speak up because they're scared of their government. They're scared of whoever the boogeyman. Understand something. I have had both the Canadian and the American government come after me 3 times and try to destroy me on any level they could. Guess what? They don't know what to do anymore. They're either going to have to get rid of me or give up. So understand something, everyone. You know what? You need to find your inner power and you need to stand in it now. And you need to not do anything that your family's doing, your friends are doing, the majority is doing, and you need to stop listening to anything that's on the radio, TV, or newspaper. And I'm telling you, and they need to start watching your show more, that's for sure. They better not be missing it because you've got information that they need.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. And I want to say thank you so much for today and joining me and sharing your views as well. But just before we finish, I wanted to say, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish? I know you had a book or something, or you'd like to tell us about.
Yeah, well, I have what's called, look, if I can, it's called BHN app. It stands for Braveheart Nation, bhnapp.com. This is a $250,000 app. It's free. It guides people. It gives them everything. They've never seen an app like this. This app was built for every one of my brothers and sisters out there. And if you go there, you can download my book called Healthy to 100. It's really basic, okay? It teaches you the basic stuff. And then if you really want to take action, I mean, really take action, you can download, if you go to pdgfree.com, it's called My Perfect Day Guide. In 45 years, it's got everything on how you can take action. It's not about coming back to me. Yeah, my products are in there, but it's not about me. If I don't make another penny off of people out there, you know what? I don't care. They can get the information they need. And also, if they want to watch Escape the Matrix movie, they just go to escapethematrixmovie.com. And the last thing I'll say is I'll be in England and I'll be in Scotland this summer teaching my courses. If they go to bhnuniversity.com, that stands for Braveheart Nation again, bhnuniversity.com. We teach body work where I can show them how to take down a fibroid tumor the size of an orange and reduce it most times by 30 to 50% in the first treatment by using an elbow technique and pulling the fibers apart lovingly. And I have another course, but we do that. We teach the whole body. I want you to understand, everybody that's limping, everybody that has a physical problem, it's only three things: crystallization, calcification, and scar tissue formation. Scar tissue formation, scar tissue is the absence of electrical conductivity and circulation. We can get that back. Calcification, we can get it all back into the bones. You don't need to have osteoporosis. You're pulling the calcium out because you're so acidic and on fire because you're so infected emotionally and physically. Okay. And the other course is called Whole Life Coach. It's a 9-day course where we certify people and they're certified under the World Organization of Natural Medicine as consultants, nutritional consultants, emotional consultants. And it's a 9-day course. The Wolfe Non-Surgical is 12 days. And I'll be in Cheshire, England, and we're doing a 5-day course. It's called the Braveheart Health and Healing Summit. It's a 5-day where I'll have like 25 people on a mat, where I'll be going real deep with them, nutritionally, emotionally. And I'll have 260 in the audience and then room for 3,000 online. So if they want to check it out, they can check out bhnuniversity.com.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate that. And Dr. Darrell Wolfe will speak again very soon. You take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.